G'day chieftains. So this is Soulmask. It's an early access game. I've played over 350 hours in it now just to get a feel for it. And thought I might do a little casual gaming guide, tour, introduction, whatever you want to call it, since the last update. Now, the last update was fantastic. Allows a lot more versatility and flexibility for particularly solo players and PvE players. There are some changes to PvP, but I don't play the PvP. I'm just playing solo at the moment, casually of course. But this latest update has made a lot of changes, which makes it much more nicer for solo players particularly. It allows us to do a lot more with the resources that we have. Prior to this update, there was limited, well, it was just more limited. But this certainly opened it up, particularly some of these primary ones with the talents, the data copies, and the perfect remodel, which is not really important, it was already enabled previously. But some of the other aspects, particularly the portals. There are more portals now, and the player-made portals now connect to the game portals, so that is not an issue. Respawn points in dungeons and ruins, that I think in some ways wasn't necessary, but it certainly makes it much easier to play, particularly against some of the bosses, which can be a bit overwhelming, especially when you're just trying to learn the mechanics of the bosses, because yeah, sometimes they hit real heavy and you don't really have an opportunity to heal, and the healing is spread out a little, so if you use instant heals, for example, you have a timer before you can do it again. Okay. And the other major thing was the crafting from chests now. Previously you had to run to the chest, get the items, run back to craft, or with the tribesmen, you would get them to go do it, to bring all the materials and control it that way, but it certainly made it much easier. And a few other nice changes. And we'll see how we go. Now, if you are going to play Soulmask, I would heavily recommend joining the Discord. The developers seem to be somewhat responsive to player requests regarding bugs or improvements. So yeah, I highly recommend that you join Discord. So, let's get into it. Now, I've already created the server, but what we'll do, we'll look at the server settings. Now, actually, before we do that, I select casual, because I just want to show you guys how the play style, the mechanics, the first steps to get you relatively in-game without wondering what to do next. It's not too bad. It does have a kind of a tutorial, what to do next, step by step, build this, go here at the beginning. So that's quite good. It's a typical introduction. Now in the advanced settings, I haven't changed too many from the casual, because most of the settings are maxed out in any case. You will see that if a setting has been changed from the default, it is in red. So I've done this one. As a solo player, I don't want to be farming dungeons constantly for one special item, which I may need 2 or 3 of. I don't think it's really necessary for solo players, because you know, if you're in a PvE private server and you've got 3 or 4 tribesmen, this way you can get 3 or 4 items, or 3 items for example, instead of 1, and you can share it then, instead of having to farm this same dungeon 4 times, for example. I don't think it makes too much of a difference, but I put it on anyway, better to be safe than sorry. I increased the crafting speed multiplier because I don't want to stand there waiting for days to build things. the time flow multiplier. Now there's two here. There's proportion of daytime and time flow multiplier. By default, it's 90% day, 10% night. That's what this one is set to. I've also increased the time flow multiplier, or decreased it in this case, which means the days are twice as long. By default, it's set at 24 hours or 24. I've set it to 12, so it's twice the length of daytime, which I find better, because if I'm doing something that kind of requires daytime, it means I've got more time to do it in before the night falls. Even though the night is relatively short, feels a bit more natural this way. Everything else has been set. Okay. I'm not going to go through all the settings. Just going the other ones. I've changed the quality for wild and barbarian coefficients, so higher chance of getting better quality. Now the barbarians, or the tribesmen in this game, there's a lot of RNG involved in getting good ones. But you'll see that as we go through the game. I've also basically turned off materials needed for repair. I'm here to play and have fun. I don't want to be farming constantly just to repair things, as well as the fact that I find it a bit frustrating that your weapons in the middle of a dungeon, halfway through a dungeon, need repairing. I mean, a weapon should last you at least the completion of the dungeon and not be completely ruined by it, and as well as the durability. Every time you repair a weapon or item, it loses its durability. I've turned that off. Yeah, my guys are master smiths. They don't lose durability. Everything else here. Now, I've changed this to increase the amount of tribesmen I can have. NPC tribesmen. So the first is 10, then another 20, and then once I get to level 3, I get all of them up to 100. Alright. Also the quality, so the animals I can have up to 100, and that's your mounts, your pets like monkeys and birds or parrots and so forth. Hatching speed, I've increased that as well to maximum. There are some animals that you get from eggs. I don't want to sit there for hours waiting for the egg to hatch, because yeah, you'll see if we get that far, that's more late game, mid to late game than early game in any case. Some server settings for the European and so forth, not really care about that. Don't really worry about clanmates in here. Max awareness strength 60. So this here, info entry limit, this allows you to back up as such your tribesmen, so I can back up a maximum of 10 tribesmen. Okay, I've maxed out the personal bonfires and tribal bonfires. Again, this is just a casual gameplay tutorial guide kind of situation, so same with the portals. I don't think I'll ever reach 100, but you never know. Okay, I've also taken the weight limits off and the backpack capacity off. Well, maxed it out. Again, this is more of a tutorial guide, so I don't want to be hamstrung by any of this. Okay, personal marks and shared marks. This is more for PvE servers where you have more than one person. I've increased it to the max 100. This allows me to put more markers on the map. Okay, and deployed tribesmen. That is normally set to 3. I've done 10 for now, in case I want to raid an entire barbarian encampment. I'll take a little tribal army with me. But most of the times 2 or 3 is the most you're going to want in any case, but this is just done for fun. Alright, moving on. Let's go. Okay, so oh, just forgot to do something. go. So here we are, semi-naked and afraid in the middle of a jungle. First thing we do, we're going to see where we are. Okay, this is where we're positioned. Like as you can see, most of the map is fogged out. Okay, you'll see here, to open it up we need to go to the scouts, but that's later. Let's just start with the basics first. Okay, so we got some points of interest around the map, around us. Alright, we'll get to those soon enough, but first. So, like any survival game, we need some resources. So if we look at a tech tree, first off, the beginning. Okay, we have 5 tech points, but at the moment we don't need tech points for the basics, so that's a bit loud. Let me just turn that volume down a little. Let's bring it down to 80. Come on, there we go. Alright, so we go back into our tech tree and we basically just go through and learn everything. It doesn't cost us any tech points. Okay, every time you level up, this is your awareness strength is your level. So I'm at level 3 right now. Okay, just standing here, I'm getting XP. Okay, there are 3, as you can see here, 3 types of XP level. There's your awareness strength, which is your base character level, your mask level. Sorry, your awareness level is different from your character level. I have to remember that. I'll show you those in a second. Alright, let's have a look. How powerful you are, you gain strength XP through combat or work, and view the progress. Yeah. A sufficient strong awareness can help you restore more mask nodes as well as learn more knowledge and technology. Then we have the mask level. This is the level of the mask currently worn. It will gain XP to all awareness strength XP, equal to all awareness strength XP gained. When you get a brand new mask, you must improve its level to fix its unique nodes. Okay, so that's essentially what this game is about. All the different mechanic is a mask. We'll get to that second. Let me get all these. It's still really loud. UI sound effects. Let's bring them down a little bit. 70 should be enough. Okay. Back to this. That one needs 4. Needs to be level 4 for that, and it's going to require points. Primitive fire making. Torch. Okay. So we've got those. We've got those. These all require high awareness strength as well as points. So we're almost there. Basic carpentry we can do. We won't worry about that just yet. Okay, so then we have our mask node. So as we get better, we can increase. And each mask has some unique abilities that are down here. Okay. And they require green crystals, which you can find in ruins to repair. So here we need a green crystal just to start the first part. And these give you benefits. Okay. Alright, some proficiency improvements. So, for example, the mask, you capture a barbarian, you can put the mask on them to improve their proficiencies quicker. Because of this, as you can see here, it's a 25% increase in proficiency growth for whatever skill. In this case, it's fighting. Then we have spears, swords. Okay, there's also mining, crafting. Okay. the barbarians will learn those proficiencies themselves over time by giving them jobs to do that, you know, deal with that. But if you really want to boost it very quickly, you take control of them and use the mask bonuses or boosters. Okay. There are bosses that you need to defeat, 5 of them, to fully increase or maximize your mask. And you will need, for example, blue crystals at a later date, and some other things. Actually, no, I think it's just blue crystals. Yeah. It's been such a long time since I restarted this game that I'm not sure of everything that is needed to be done at the beginning. But it's a learning process for both of us, or all of us. Hopefully more than ones see this, but we'll see. Alright, so that's that. So we have our basic technology, we have our character. As you see here, we're level 4, we have some stat points. Okay, be careful with these. You can reset them later with special potions. Just think about what you need early game. In this case, I want some more strength. The monsters and animals and things in this game and the barbarians can hit really hard, but this is on casual, so it's not too bad. Okay, so there's your basic stats. Okay, then we go to proficiencies. So at the moment, most of my proficiency maxed out to 60 as I use them. Okay, and you'll see them increase. Now as you get something increased to a certain level, in this case level 30, you get a choice of some special tweaking. Okay, the simplest one is obviously the damage increase. You know, as a casual player, this is probably what you're most likely to go for, this increases in damage. Some of these could be interesting. Okay, reducing the enemy's stamina as well as all their resilience. Okay, now stamina and resilience. We go outside. If you look on the right side of my toolbar, you see a green bar and then the yellow bar. Green bar is my stamina, the yellow bar is my resilience. Now essentially, once my resilience reaches 0, I go into a kind of stun mode. So yes, and every action requires stamina, so using different modifiers could be interesting. I haven't bothered really trying those yet. Okay. When it comes to the other skills, they have different how fast, how much you output, the durability of your tools, and the stamina cost. Now, some of the more important ones, let's take for example weapon crafting. Okay, how quickly you do create the weapon, the durability limit of that weapon, as well as the quality of that weapon. So you'll see in a minute that there's different levels of quality. Okay, and this has a 7% chance increase of doing it. And this is for wood, stone, and bone. Further you go down, this is bronze, this is iron, and this is steel. Now again, as you get later into levels, you can reset these with a potion. So focus on what you need now, because you can always reset it later. So for example, if you want to focus on durability, you can do that later. You can start with weapon quality for these, wood, stone, and bone, and when you get to steel, you don't need this anymore. So when you reset, you can take the durability or the speed. Same with the bronze. Once you get to iron and steel, you could reset if you wanted to, and just work on durability or the speed. Now, as I said before, I've got the durability removed as such, so it's not an issue for this playthrough. But certainly if you have the durability settings on, you might want to focus on these once you reach the levels. So once you get to bronze, you might reset to get the extra durability. Speed may not be important, 5% speed is nothing, but the durability certainly can add up. It's almost 20% just in these three once you get to steel. So 20% increase in your durability of steel weapons, it's highly worthwhile. And that's the same with armor. You've got the production speed, durability limit, and quality. Okay. Then we have things like masteries. Yeah, once you get certain skills or proficiencies to a certain level, it unlocks different types of attack. Now, currently at the moment, you only have an option of one choice. You can't have multiples. And these are some videos of how these work. So, for example, we want the hammer. It shows us the animations for how it works. Okay. Alright, so let's start with the basic gathering. We need... Okay, so our proficiencies are going up as we're doing stuff. It's just like any other survival game. Alright, you'll see here on the left is a guide. Highly recommend you don't skip anything, because there is quite a few helpful hints there later on when it gets past the initial first steps. Now I need stones and wood. Some wood. Here's a stone. Some more wood. Still need some more wood. Another stone. Oh, there's one. Okay. So now we can build a campfire. Okay, so there are some things that you can craft manually. Yeah. And there's others that require, you know, in this case, the thin rope requires crafting in the loom. You can search the blueprints. It will tell you where you need to go. So if I want to make charcoal, I'm going to need a kiln, and there's the materials required. All right, but first off, we want what do we want? We want the campfire, don't we? No, I need a campfire. So one campfire created. Open your backpack, select the campfire. Well, it's already selected in my quick bar, so let's just do that. Alright. So now it wants us to create a stone pickaxe. So, stone pickaxe. Use the pickaxe to collect stones. It's on my car. Now, as you can see, the first time I created it, it's a blue color. Alright, so it's a class 2. You have a 0 class, class 1, which is green, blue, which is class 2. Okay, then you have purple, which is class 3. Gold or yellow, which is class 4, and class 5 is red. Okay. And it does add stats and durability and so forth, so what you want is red. At class 6. 5, 6. Okay. So let's use our pickaxes and stuff here. Just quickly. Alright, now we want a stone axe. And it wants us to go cut down a tree. As you can see, this is a class 0. Doesn't matter too much at the beginning, but it certainly does matter when you're building weapons and armor. And tools, of course, because it increases the durability of those tools. So we got our pickaxe. What do we want now? Scythe. Scythe. Tomato, tomato. Oh, there we go, class 3. I really wish one of these was a class 3. The scythe doesn't really matter so much. Okay, and that allows us to harvest bushes. Okay. So, fiber, vines, that comes from bushes. Obviously, sticks, and resin also comes from plants, so these are your plant-based. Alright, we have sticks, wood, bark, more wood, logs. That's your tree-based, and your stone-based is obviously stone and flint. Okay, we can sort it so you can see it better. We've done that. Now we need a wooden spear, our first weapon. Okay. So we have to... Now, as you can see on the bottom right here, now I've got my special attacks. In this case, it's a throw the spear, which is attached to a rope. So it's kind of like a harpoon in this case. Right, and this will actually drag opponents to you, unless there's blocks. So the stone will block something if they're coming, if I'm dragging them towards me. What does it want now? It wants us to look at the map and Q for live perception. Okay, so yeah, we look at the map. Q for live perception. Now what this will do is, in your field of vision, okay, it will basically, it's a sonar. Okay, it will show you anything that's alive that's in front of you. There we go, there's a monkey over there. Right. And that will use Soulmask energy. If we go back to the Soulmask, you'll see here there's our energy. I've got 100 energy, and each time I Q it uses up a little bit of that energy. So be careful of that if you run out of energy. Now that can be charged with crystals, a type of crystal, and we'll see that shortly. Okay, so it slowly recharges. Now that's in the sun, it will recharge. Slowly, some will recharge more. So if we go, we can't look at the other masks yet because we don't have access to it. Now at the beginning you've got a choice of 3 masks. It's completely up to you which mask you like, what your playstyle is. Okay, this mask is the rich mask. I like it just because it looks better. And you do have some benefits for arrows. So this is more of the archer. Okay. Alright. So this is more archer orientated. One of the other benefits of this mask is it tells you the actual distance once you open this node up. And you can actually see how far something is. So if you're playing around with its detection radius or aggro radius, that can be quite helpful, especially when you're trying to capture a pet or a mount. That distance becomes quite important. Okay, so we've got our spear. It wants us to now hunt an animal in the rainforest and then do a stone butcher's knife to harvest it. Okay. Well, what I want to do first is, which is the closest one? This one's the closest. We want to go here. So I can mark the map with V, and that'll show me the shortcut marker over there. But before I go, I want a shield. So I'm going to move these around a little. Sure spear. What do I need for a thick rope for that? So thick rope requires vine. I need 2 thick ropes. So you can right click on it. I'll make 10. Unfortunately, with the crafting speed set so fast, I don't have time to actually increase it here. So I'll just make 10. I'll need them eventually anyway. Alright, so now I can build a wooden bow. I need arrows. Arrows, there they are. Need more branches. So where's my axe? Let's go find a tree. Now see these tutorial messages pop up. There's a whole host of tutorial messages. Some are worthwhile. I find some of them are a bit lacking in information. Yep. So there's quite a few you can look at. It does help, but it's certainly not complete. Okay, and one thing you'll also notice that in some cases, let's go in somewhere here. Yeah, you'll see that there's actually two. That can be missed quite often. So next. If you go next again, it'll take you to next. There's only one here, so it takes me to repair. Okay. So that's quite handy to start with. Alright. I've got my spear, I've got my shield. What about some clothing? Do I need for clothing? Let's have a look. Clothing, linen gear. That takes 1 point. Need clothes, so that's a definite. Alright. So I can make a necklace right now. Put that on. That gives me some extra HP and resilience. I need some calamite. I need linen. Right, so linen, basic weaving. So that's our, oh, nice bandage. Where's my linen? Ah, I already made it. Okay, I didn't need to do that, but the simple bandages still needed that as well. Okay, so linen, fiber. So we're going to craft it all. We need a butcher's knife, so let's just put that in now. Wooden hammer. Oh, there's a beer. Oh, and sometimes because of your crafting ability you can get duplicates. I don't need a second one, so let's just drop that. Butcher's knife can go here. That can go there. I need arrows. Let's craft 10 arrows. Now, because I search, you'll see that the crafting table is flashing, so it will show me other things that I search for, but I can't in the current table, in this case manual crafting. And so I would need to have a weapon crafting bench to create bow and arrows. No, but we'll get to that. Right, so let's put the arrows there. What else do I need? Or what? Let's get the hammer as well. Might as well. Okay, so put the hammer here. Don't need nuts right now. There we go. And where's my lights? Okay, this is a luminous waste lamp, so it gives you illumination at night without having to hold it. So that comes in very handy early game. Well, actually quite a lot throughout the game, because it's going to be your main light source or handheld torches. Okay. Which is I've crafted. Let's go find something to kill. For food, of course. I'm going to take my fire with me. retrieve. And first thing I was going to do is I need some armor. So let's get the chest piece. Let's get the shoes. And I need more thick rope. So pants, shoes, pants, and gloves. Okay. Need a ring, which needs highlight, which can be found by harvesting stone. There's actually a quicker way. We'll go over here and have a look. It's that point of interest. I've got anything I need. A spear. Now, it's advisable when traveling to use your sonar, because there are some nasty little critters out there that can do a significant amount of damage if you don't know that they're there. Stamina. Oh, there we are. Okay, so we can use our spear. Drag them to us. Voila. Our first. Okay. So basics. Cooking fire. Alright, so this you need to add fuel. Don't worry about that just yet, because all we're interested in is the cooked meat. So from animals you will get various components that you will need for items such as bone, tools. This can be used to make leathers. Alright, so we have our meat. Now we have to retrieve our fire. So cooked meat can be cooked in campfire. Press E to consume it. So it's on our toolbar. So we'll just do it. Okay. Just to make some bandages. Simple bandage 3 times. Let's have a look. One, two, three. Oh, didn't have the. Need more linen. Need more fiber. Okay. Let's get some more fiber. Alright, so then we need bandages. Okay, now let's put that in our toolbar. And yeah, now bandages can take a while to actually use, so you have to be careful in boss fights that you try and maximize how quickly you can do it during each attack. Generally speaking, you get just enough time to bandage between attacks. So if you don't do it quick enough, he will, or they will hit you fairly quickly, which means you don't get to heal off. So timing is important in boss fights. It's unfortunate, it's the only aspect of that I don't like. Okay, we found an ancient ruins. The only aspect I don't like is that it seems a little two-dimensional, these fights with bosses, but we'll have a look at that later down the track. So, now these will be slightly tougher than the last one we fought because they're guardians of these ancient ruins. We'll try and get one at a time. Okay, so that's a heavy attack, that's a light attack, a single click. Hold the mouse button, and it's a heavy attack. Oh, missed. Now the spear is a great tool for this. If there's a group of mobs, animals, barbarians, and you want to get one at a time, you can drag them to you. So that's great for that. Just stocking up on necessities. Okay, so this is the ruins. Now in these ruins, you find a chest. Okay, so here we have our calite, or calate. Alright, feathers for arrows, more beast bones. We have sunstones. Now this is for increasing or refilling our mask energy. And then we have the green crystals. Now that we have those, I'm doing things a bit out of order here because I feel like it. Alright. Let's go to our mask. So, mask energy. Alright, so these refill our mask energy. It's not important right now because our mask energy is fairly high. So we don't need to consume a crystal. And it's 100 energy. Our mask is currently at 100, so essentially it fills up this mask. Okay. I recommend if you're in dungeons and so forth, if you've got the space, you put this on your toolbar so you can quickly access it if you need it. Okay, and then we have our green crystals. Let's go have a look in here. Now we can activate abilities. So this is the core function module. Okay, we can now increase these other functions. Need that. To activate that, I have to go somewhere else. So we can do this one. Oh, so that's for gauntlets. This one is okay. That will tell me when people are attacking me. Let's see a little notification arrow. I don't think there's anything else I can do in here. Oh, I can do this one. And I'm out of green crystals. So these ruins will have these chests where you can get the crystals. And currently on this map, I think all of these points of interest are ancient ruins. Yeah, so you can get the green crystals from them. Some will have animals, some may have barbarians. Okay, now to access this control node, okay, we have to get it from the mysterious runes. But if you look on the map at these here, there's 3 of them. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Okay, any one of them will do. Right. So we've got our mask started. What next? Next we need to know where we want to build our base. Oh, actually, before I forget, some of these ruins will have a tablet style on them. Okay, and these tablets, I think here, these tablets will give you tech points. Okay, so you'll get 1 tech point for each tablet. There are some other tablets you'll find in dungeons or ruins, the pyramid ruins, for example, which will give you more. You can find with some with 2 and some with 3. Okay, so next step, our base. Where are we going? Well, I forget that as well. We can now create a ring. Now I've been pretty unlucky here. This is all basic 0 quality, but I'm not too worried just yet because we'll be upgrading it shortly or soon enough anyway. Okay, so where are we going to build our first base? Now, depending on where you start, there are lots of places you can build. The water is classified as fresh water, so if you build on the beach, you still have access to water if you need it. But there is a key construction or a key material that you need called clay, which you can only find next to these freshwater ponds, lakes, and rivers. So I prefer to build my first base in here. There are several reasons for that. There's an ancient ruins right next to it. Water is a great place to build because it's flat. You don't have to worry about all these hills and bumps and so forth. It's one of the few places where you can actually build flat with, because this game doesn't have terraforming. And I doubt it'll have terraforming for a very long time if they ever do it, because that would require foundational changes to the actual game. So that is one drawback of this, is that there is no terraforming compared to some of the other games that have recently come out. But as I said, you can get away with it by using water as your building platform where you build on. So let's go over here. Here, maybe we'll stop this one. And we'll stop at the mysterious room so we can activate the next part of our mask. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, we'll build soon enough. Yep, okay, we're going this way. Now this map is massive in compared to being on foot. So at some point you want to mount. You need a mount. It's just too much travel time from place to place until you start getting more access to more portals. Now you could build your starter base anywhere if you just want to get going, but to save time, I'm just going to where I think a good starter base is. In actual fact, with late game portals and so forth, you don't actually need to put your base anywhere else, so your starter base could become your main base. Now, one of the benefits of building a base there is that the local wildlife and barbarians are going to be fairly low level, which means at late game stages you don't have to worry so much about the local population killing off your tribesmen. So that's one reason I like to have it in the rainforest. The second is simply for farming. Right? Doggies. Wasn't paying attention, wasn't queuing. Butcher's knife. Where's the other dog? There he is. So, let's go have a look, shall we? Basic farming. Crop planting. Alright, so certain crops require temperature ranges. Yeah, the optimal being 20 to 30. 15 to 30, 15 to 30. Okay. So you want to grow your crops in those temperature ranges. Now, if you look at the top right of my screen, you'll see the compass, the time, game time, as well as two temperatures. One is the external temperature, and one is your temperature. So the rainforest is a great place to grow your crops. There are some late game crops, or mid and late game crops, which can be also grown in the rainforest. So it certainly is, I think, the best way to, or best place to build. So there's the ruins. And let's put the weapons back on. There's one in there. And 3 out here. So as you see, I can use my spear to bring them to me. I don't have to actually go in and aggro everyone. He's got a slightly better in pants. Don't really want any of those. Some more food, a water bottle. So it's me making it. Now the other weapon is the hammer. What's that? Heavy attack, light attack. So take those. The chest there, but I can't open the chest yet because there's still one more. Just he is in here. Now, if you block it in time, okay, you can stun them. Okay, you see there, it says can be deterred. That means I can actually capture him. Okay, but I'm not interested just yet. Does he have some herbs? And some more nuts. Okay. So we have this little thingy bob, thingy something, whatever it's called. And we can interact with it. I need more green crystals. I used all my green crystals. Alright, that was silly of me. Oh, maybe there's something here. Let's have a... There we go. So we got some stone arrows. Some clay, potatoes, corn. I need everything, so I'm going to take it all. Now I can go activate my mask. Good. So what that did is activate this one here. So this allows me to take control of my own tribesmen and use them. So this is the premise of the game. The mask transfers your consciousness from one tribesman to another tribesman to another tribesman, while your main character's still there. But there are limitations on your main character. Okay, so let's go. Alright, for example, efficiencies, I can only go up to level 60. That has been increased to level 90 on the weapons. But the maximum skill level you can get is 125, so I can't go above 90, which means you're less effective with those skills or weapons than possibly a tribesman. So an armor crafter, 120, to get the improved quality for steel gear. And the cost of the materials for steel gear, depending on what your settings are set at, you certainly want to get the most out of that as much as possible. And the other one is masteries. Okay, so I can only ever get level 90 or proficiency 90 masteries. I can't access 120s. However, with the latest update, I can actually transfer or copy the data of a tribesman I've captured onto myself. Alright. Let's get out of here. Another chest. Okay, night is coming shortly, so let's hurry up and get to where we want to build. It's that way. Okay. These here are the wildflowers or herbs for making healing potions as such. Nope. Block. Ooh. Won't butcher that one. I really want to get to. I'm going to build the base, the first camp, or the camp. As a solo, if you're playing this solo or a close PvE, this is simply one of the easiest places and best places to build. Various reasons when you're starting out, there are, as you can see over here, there's a campfire and 2 outcast barbarians. You can capture those to begin with to give you some starting tribesmen until you get better ones. He will give me feathers. There is. Where is it? Okay. Also, don't forget to create a clan. Or tribe. Yeah. Create a tribe. So. Alright. Now, even if you're playing solo, you still want to do this because what it does do is it opens up some of the communication aspects. For example, here you'll see any information that your tribesmen talk about. For example, they're overweight or they've got no materials to build with, and that sort of thing. Okay, so it's worthwhile creating the tribe early on so you get that information. You know, I was 200 hours in before I created the tribe and realized, oh, I'm getting information. You know, he's blocked, he's bored, whatever. Okay, so that's certainly worth having. Let's put this back on. Other things to think about is in the hunting here. Okay, doing these will actually get you fairly good benefits. Okay, so like you see here, a slaughtering output, noise and concealment reductions or increases depending on what it is. Okay. Praise can be turned into specimens. That's basically trophies that you can mount, which is important for comfort benefits. Okay. And once you get to the end, which is pretty good, is here, creatures weaker than you will not attack you first. Now that's pretty important because once you get to your level 60 and you have this, it allows you to go into areas to get resources without having to be attacked or worried about being attacked by the local animal wildlife. So keep an eye on this, because once you get this, it's fantastic for traversing the map without being attacked. But yeah, it's quite a while away. You need to unlock 50 creatures in the gallery, achieve trip milestone mythic, achieve trips milestone face off, and so forth. Now, milestones. There we go. So these are all your milestones. Yeah. Also the tablets. Now these are the tablets I was telling you about that give you tech points. Okay, so there are 110 ancient tablets out there which will give you 1 tech point. So it's an extra 110 tech points. And divines generally give you 3. There might be some that give you 2. But I think it's 3 for all of them, so there's another 60, 72, 78. I can't count. Anyway, so building down here. One of the reasons I like this is it's a very fairly flat open area. I have water if I need it. Okay, and it's fairly flat. So this is my preferred building for my first base, and in actual fact, since my second base was destroyed in my main character's playthrough, not destroyed, but a no building radius for some reason took half my base. I couldn't repair or move things inside my base anymore, so I went back to my starter base and rebuilt there, which was a bit my second base. So not my starter. This was my starter, but I had a second base a little further up. But certainly, I find this is the best place. As I said, one of the reasons for that is there's an ancient ruins just here. Yeah. Oh. So I get some meat and leathers and so forth, access to it. Okay. And I get easy access to a chest, which means I can get more green crystals and sunstones as I need them. Nice easy access to that. The other easy access, as I said, over here is a outpost for tribesmen, outcasts, so it's a quick easy way to get a few tribesmen to begin with, to do some chores like harvesting. But first we need to build. It's also fairly close to some mounts, so let's just clear this up quickly. Now this is one of the important first minerals you need. It's clay. So there's an abundance of clay around here as well. Okay, so that's a level up, that gold. Little aurora that appeared. Pinball! Hey, Mr. Cappy. Oh, you're fast. Ah, I missed you. Can I get you with the bow? Gotcha. Now, if you can't find an animal, you can just use your perception. There are times when the jungle's so thick you don't know where anything is. If you've killed 3 or 4 or something, it will also show you when you improve the mask. You'll see special minerals for mining highlighted. For now, no, that. Okay, so this looks fairly clear. What do you want to build? We need foundation. I have 12 thick ropes, so I can build 6. Let's do that first. Now, when you're building manually, you can actually go do other things like hunting, mining, whatever. You don't actually have to stand still for this once you've started it. For example, I can go craft ore. It's here. I know I can keep just doing what I'm doing. What's happening? Let's have a look. Right, on a little bit, just so I don't see the leaves. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it looks pretty good to me. Alright, so that's my main starting foundation. Everything will build off that. Now you might find if this happens, because it's off the ground, you need to go back to the one before, build under. Now you can build it up. And this also works in water. I don't know if that was a previous update, but I couldn't do it the first time I played, but you can now. Still need some more foundations. Oh, 44. So I can queue these up. I want 14. How many can I build? Let me build. Let's build 11. What am I missing? Probably no thatch. We'll leave 11 for now. We're going to need more thatch. So let's go get some more thatch. should be enough for now. Still missing all though. First one is a stair and get to level 2. Okay. Alright, so you see here at the bottom I have a choice between 2 styles. If I need the triangles, I don't really need the triangles for this. How many is that? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I want to maximize my space. Okay, I built some stairs, I believe. There. Yeah. So, I'll just finish the bit up here. There's a rock there. Actually need some more of these. Let's get this rock out of the way. Right. You can build this any way you want. This is, works for me. That's my starter. Okay, so now we need to create our first bonfire. So now the bonfire is your central point in your tribe camp. Okay, it determines the radius of your building, where you don't, depending on if you've got the setting on or not, your buildings won't decay. Okay, it's the central point of your camp, base, etc. So we definitely need this to start. Okay, can we do basic tanning? We can do some basic tanning. Oh, slaughter. Okay. Do basic carpentry. Basic craftsmanship. Food for stone weapons. Now you don't need to get all of them. And if you're never going to build a stone blade, then you don't have to get it. I wouldn't recommend getting it. Save the point, because it can take a while to get all those tablets and so forth. So you might run out of points for later crafting. So it's best to only get what you need. You can reset these. The first one is free, and then I think it costs 1 or 2 crystals later. So you can constantly reset. So let's say, for example, I get all the stone weapons. They all cost me 1 point. And then I move on to bronze or beast bone weapons. Then I don't need the stone anymore. So I could do a reset and get all these points back that I used in here, and possibly living gear, for example. With construction, I don't need, well, this is now free. Before it was points, but when I go from, say, wood to stone. Okay, so here's wood. It's only 1 or 2, it's not that many points, but you'll find later as you go that those points become crucial. Some are 2, so these ones you want to keep anyway. This is your furniture. You need those later on. Comfort points and various other things. But certainly, yeah, once you move to stone, you may or may not want these. So just reset. Into bronze gear, I get rid of my leather gear, take those points, which means that I can use them in here. 2, 3, 3. But now I need a bonfire. Hit the bonfire. I did do the bonfire. Okay, so what do I need? I have everything for the bonfire. Fantastic. There it is. Let's create our first bonfire. Yay, bonfire. Now, I put my bonfire down here. Now, it's best to, the minimum is a 9x9 or 3x3 to give the most space. Okay. But I'm just going to put it right here for now. And then a set of stairs. Oh. Okay, so when you create your first bonfire, you will get your first introduction. Vagabond ran across your base in such a dangerous rope. She wants to team up with you. Obviously, we'll go yes. So here's our first tribesperson. Now, as far as stats and everything concerned, okay, we go in and like not very good to begin with. Oh, these are completely RNG, these talents. You never know what you're going to get. There's no way to know. There are 3 different tribes, the Flint, Claw, Fang, and they have their own specialties as far as some of these talents are concerned. There's a general pool, there's a class pool, and then there's tribe pool. Okay, so she is a warrior, so she could get some warrior specific ones. Okay, it's level 23. Every 10 levels you get a new skill talent, and every 5 levels you get the chance to get rid of one of these. So she's really terrible at combat. Hammer is -10 and reducing damage dealt within 5 meters. So she's shocking. So hopefully when she gets to level 25 we can get rid of this one and all of them at the end of the day. So what is her? Okay, so she's not a 120 in anything. Nothing fantastic, but as a first character, get you going. First tribesman, she's worth it. Just to have a friend. And if you need friends, you can have. She can also help you with the harvesting, wood, stone, things like that as you need it. Saves you running around. You can start using her straight away for those things. Okay. So if we go to work, we can give her jobs. So the work type, in this particular instance, we want to do wild collection. And so the collecting of fire, logs, wood, stone, clay. So we say our bonfire, and Logging, mining, or harvesting. Which one do we want her to focus on? She doesn't got any tools at the moment, so I'm not going to give her anything. You can put a quantity limit, and you can actually tell them where you want her to store it. Okay, so it's important if you want to do it storage in this way. Perhaps you want to store it in a particular place, then you need to, it's easy if you name that chest, so you can see it in here fairly easily. Because once you've got 30-40 chests, it becomes difficult. There is another way where you can nominate what goes into the chest, filter it, so only certain items go in, so say only stone in that chest, and we'll have a look at that shortly. Okay, so I can get them to operate workbenches. I don't have any yet, that's our next step. Okay, workshop collection. So if I have workshops out there, they can go collect from the workshop. Okay. And these other ones. So we've got camp upkeep. That's a fairly important one. We'll give her a camp upkeep now. So she'll make sure that all buildings auto repair and there's fuel added to the bonfire and other lights. So if I have oil lamps, things like that, she will fill those or top those up with fuel. Okay. Alright. So that's a good one to start with. We'll do that. Upkeep bonfire. Yeah. Actually, I wonder, does she have this as well? Okay, so you can get class skills. In this case, she's got kick. There are various class skills that you can have depending on what class they are. You can also get specialty skills as they progress, so you can't see any here, but it's completely random again. They may get a gold skill in this area, which means for that particular skill they will get bonus points like doubling the damage or something along those lines. Okay. Let's go to proficiencies. Actually, and skill points. Nothing there yet, obviously. And we're done. Okay. So if I wanted to, I could actually take control of her. Right, control. Which means I now play from that point of view, and my main character will sit down and do nothing. There are online has been mentioned that you can get them to actually do crafting and so forth, but yeah, essentially they sit down and do nothing for the rest of the game until you go back and control. Okay. And I wanted to do this, put the other set of stairs. Oh, I already built it. Good. Excuse me. Now this is one of the other frustrating things about the building, is trying to get it the direction you want it to go. Okay, so we got our bonfire, we got our first tribesman. And we're soon to build our workshops. Yep. I'm going to take a break for now, and I'll be back later. Time for some lunch, I think. Thanks for watching. If you've watched, leave like a comment if there's any questions. I'll happily answer the next time I jump on, or when I jump on in an hour. Yeah. Please like, comment, and follow for more content. Have a nice day. See you later. Ciao.